you glad you came? What an amazing event, and how great was Jaylin? Was she fantastic? So much meat there, and I'll tell you what, you know, I hadn't planned to say this, and it's actually a little bit personal, but do you know how you have certain themes recur in your life, and you're like, note to self, that's something I'm meant to learn while I'm here. And I'll tell you, I think one of my life lessons is to learn what is real powerful. What is real power? Because I've been drawn to power, right? And I so love that the name of this event is The Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing. Guess what? You are the most powerful woman in network marketing. You are the most powerful woman in network marketing. And just a little reflection back to my childhood. Absolute best friends with my mom, but guess who I identified with most? My dad. Like, I liked that energy. He was the owner and broker of the largest real estate brokerage in the Intermountain West when I was growing up. I saw him speak to his salespeople. I saw them cry. I saw them laugh. I'm like, I like that. I like that. That felt like power to me. And then I started in this business, and I want to say, back 31 years ago, this was a very male-dominant industry. And I feel like when you look at the spectrum of qualities that we attribute to the feminine or the masculine, do you agree with me that we all have all of them? Right? Like, we all have all of them. And so for the first several years of building my business, I totally donned my inner male. And I didn't know what I was doing. It's just like what I kind of had to do. And it felt strong. It felt really successful. Well, it was successful, but it felt strong and powerful. And when I was getting my second divorce, having been the bread earner, the breadwinner, the man, really, in typical tradition, I felt tired of that way of being. And I started to gather back the softer, more feminine aspects of me. And I was really scared, will this still be powerful? And let me tell you what I've learned. I have chills. I don't know if you can see my legs. I have chills all over my body. Vulnerability is never weakness. And I'll tell you, the feminine qualities are so to be celebrated. They are, even in men right now, the most attractive qualities because they're the qualities of the heart. So as I've seen each of these most powerful women this weekend, don't you love all the variations of power? Right? Doesn't it give you permission that you get to be your own definition of power? I just love it. Marina and Eric, thank you so much for bringing all of us together so that we can understand power for ourselves better. Okay, I gotta get going. So I love my topic. Can you see it? Okay, no, hang on. I love my topic, getting started. You know, we've learned all of the skill sets so far: prospecting, inviting, presentation. I'm glad I didn't have to speak on that one. Presenting, I would say, don't do it. Use a tool, right? So I don't know what else I'd say. But so here we are, and getting started after you've been through that whole process, it kind of feels like a rival, doesn't it? Like, woohoo, they're in, I'm gonna be rich, right? But guess what? What is getting started really? It's the beginning. It's the beginning. And I can promise you, whatever time you take to do this right will pay dividends forever, because what you do with your new person is going to be duplicated generation upon generation down to the 90th level, right? So getting people started right is so important. I love all the stuff that Jaylin shared with you. How many people have had this experience? You do all the prospecting, the whole process, and somebody says yes. They come in with the biggest pack. When they shared their why with you, they cried, and you're like, oh, they're gonna be here forever, right? And you're counting the money in the bank. And then you send them the getting started checklist. A couple of weeks pass, or a few days pass, you reach out to them, MIA. They're gone, never to be heard from again. Witness protection program for them. They're gone. You're like, what about all those dreams? What about that why? Guess what, my friends? We have a small window to take our new people by the hand and help them get successful. And here's a reminder for all of us. This is a reminder for us right now. This is a reminder for us to teach our new people. A couple of my favorite quotes. To begin with fault is better than to hesitate perfectly. And how often are we just trying to be perfect before we start? We can't, because we get perfect by going. We get perfect in the process. We learn while we learn. Anything worth doing well is worth doing poorly until you learn how to do it well. That being said, would you like to help your brand new team member with all their big dreams who trusted you, chose to be with you? Would you like to make them bulletproof? Would you like to? Because guess what? That's what I'm going to teach you. There are only a few things that you need to teach your new team members for them to be absolutely, utterly, unequivocally bulletproof. And here it is. Are you ready? Drum roll. Okay? Use the system, follow the system, use the tools, and plug into three-way chats. How many of you have done three-way calls? Emily, last night, did she do? Raise your hand if you have ever done a three-way call and if you are using three-way calls now. Okay, good. We need more people using this. How many people are using three-way chats? Raise your hand. Okay, the rest of you, and maybe even you guys that raise your hands, I am about to change your business life. I learned a long time ago the power of three-way calls. There is magic, it's the secret sauce. Three-way calls, so much wonderful stuff happens on a three-way call. Your business will progress faster. You will move the needle more. There will be more duplication in your business than with any other thing that you could do or teach with three-way calls. However, three-way calls have to happen in time and space. They have to happen in your calendar. You can't scale. You can't do 100 three-way calls in a day, right? They can't scale, but guess what? Three-way chats can. And so three-way calls now become three-way chats in Messenger. If you master this skill, you will dominate in your business and you will duplicate with more people following you than in any other way. So why three-way chats? First of all, the number one reason you want to do three-way chats is because you want to help your new team members succeed more. And by you interjecting yourself into their business with three-way chats, that's exactly what's going to happen. The other reason is third-party validation. You're bringing, right, they're bringing an expert in. And I'll tell you, I have million-dollar earners on my team that still put me in three-way chats all of the time. Why? Because you can't be a prophet in your own town, even if you're a million-dollar earner, right? Isn't it crazy? But it's true. And so even my million-dollar earners will put me in a three-way chat because it's just another expert opinion. So important. Also, what better way than that to train new team members? I'll tell you what, I love three-way chats. When I first enroll somebody, I want them to even bring me in on their product ones. I want them to hear how I talk to somebody about the product, the passion that I have for the product and how that product can change lives. And I definitely want to be a part of all the business conversations in the beginning. They learn so much by listening. They become bulletproof by listening to you. Also, it's evidence that the business works. When you bring in somebody that is just, got it all going on, you show your prospect that the business works. It builds belief and vision. I know that my belief and vision is so big, so strong. And so I can transmit that through my own voice in Messenger to their prospect in a way that is just so chill. Because chat is how we communicate with each other today. It's not like trying to get somebody on the phone where they think, oh my gosh, I'm coming in for the closer, and they have resistance coming in, right? A chat is just like so easy and so chill. It also creates community. How many of you know that one of the greatest human needs we all have is to belong? We want to belong. We want to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. We want to be a part of a community of like-minded people. The three-way chat is the beginning of that, because they're like, whoa, these people are cool. Look how they work with each other. Look how they edify each other. I want to be a part of that. And leverage. I want to say this three-way chats are the best and highest use of my time, period, bar none. I can get more done in three-way chats in terms of using my skill set at this stage than doing any other thing. And it's non-intrusive, no pressure, right? Okay, so let's do this really quickly. We don't have too long to spend on this. Take a picture of this slide. If you don't know how to set up a three-way chat, right? You're going to go to Messenger, you're going to push search, you're going to push the little thing, the check mark up at the top, and then it's going to let you search for one person, search for another one, and then you can bring everybody together. And you can do more than, just 3 people in a three-way chat. You can have 4 people, whatever, in a three-way chat. Take a photo of that. So, next off, the setup is so important. In fact, let's just go here, because this is so important. Let me just talk really quickly about edification and what it means as we use it here in network marketing. It means genuine praise is really what it is. It means to build up, to lift up, to raise up. And it's so important. Learn this skill. Critically important and a very important part of the three-way chat. So you need to teach your new team members how to set up the chat and how to edify you. That can be awkward, right? Hey, just like say all this wonderful stuff about me. But why? Not so that I get a big head, so that your people are going to listen to me better. The more you edify me, and then when I mutually edify you back, the better it just all is. So edification, super, super important. All right, let's go back to setting up the chat. Really important that when you bring somebody to a chat, they've actually watched something, they've seen something, so that there is something that we can talk about, right? What have you seen? Hey, what are your thoughts? What did you like best about? So really important that they've seen something. And then here's how easy it is. Please get how easy and just like chill it is to invite somebody. You don't even ask them. You don't have to ask someone if you can put them in a chat, because listen how easy this is. Hey, my dear, while you're reviewing this information that I'm sending over to you right now, I'm going to pop you in a chat with some of my colleagues so that you can get to know them. While you're reviewing the information, I'm going to pop you in a chat, and guess what? Not so that I can bring in my really good people and you get more persuaded. No, not for your reasons, theirs. So that you can get your questions answered while they're fresh on your mind. I'm going to bring you the best I know, because I want you to have expert input so that you can see if this is a fit for you or not, right? For their reasons. So that's how you set it up and edify. At that point, they're going to say, so who I'm going to pop you in a chat with is Margie. She's super cool. In fact, you guys have a lot in common. You guys are really going to enjoy getting to know each other. She's super successful, but now let's move on to the next thing, okay? So here's how the chat goes, right? You're in Messenger. The intro sounds like this. Let's say that my girl, my new team member is Jolynn. Let's say her prospect is Sandy, okay? So Jolynn starts the chat and she's like, hey Sandy, hey Margie, I'm so happy to bring us, right? She's doing this in her own voice, holding down that little microphone. Doing it in her own voice. I'm so excited to bring us together. You guys are going to really enjoy getting to know each other. And, Sandy already told you about Margie, but Margie, let me tell you just, Margie's blah, 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 blah. But let me tell you a little bit about Sandy. Sandy, so now she's edifying Sandy, right? She's edifying Sandy. She edifies me, she edifies Sandy. And then, when I pop in, I'm able to say, oh my gosh, Sandy, I am so excited to get to know you with all the great things that Jolynn is saying about you. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to get to know you. Now, let me just give you a little bit of advice on the edification. Look at me, I'm so used to doing three-way chats. I just have a phone in front of my mouth all the time. you want to touch on each of the 4 personality types, right? Because you want that person, whoever they are, whatever they want from that chat, you want them to know they're going to get their needs met. So we've got the person that likes a lot of answers, right? That data person. So you want to say, while you're listening, you're going to hear that Margie's really got the answers. Like, she's really got the answers. The data person goes, hallelujah, I want answers, right? And she's super successful. In fact, she's in the 1% or blah, 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 whatever. She's super successful. And let's just say that the person you're edifying isn't a 1% earner. What you can say is, this woman is on the fast track to success. This dude is making his way to the top, like, right? So you can always say what's coming as well. Successful, right? So successful. Somebody that you want to watch, somebody you want to follow. And guess what? They're so fun and down to earth. It's probably the thing I love the best. And you know what else? She really cares about people. Right there, you've hit them all, and they're like, hallelujah, that girl's my girl. She's my people, right? So make sure you hit all of that. And then when I pop in, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm mutually edified. You are in such great hands with JoLynn. In all my years, she's one of the best I've ever worked with, right? And she loves and cares about people, right? So mutual edification. And then I say, I'm excited to explore the possibilities. Here are some of the things that are a part of the three-way chat. The first thing I want to do is build rapport. I want to say, so tell me about you. What's going on in your life right now that has you maybe looking at this business? And tell me what's your workaday world like. And you know what, in addition to that, I want to know what some of your dreams are. I can't wait to get to know you better, see if we can connect some dots and maybe together make even a bigger difference and have more fun and make more money, right? Hitting all of those edification points again. So what's resonating with you? What have you seen so far? What questions do you have? And then, so here's what's so cool. If you teach your team members how to do three-way chats well, the only skills they really need to know are rapport, building rapport and asking questions, right? And setting up the three-way chat. Because they don't need to present. All they need to do is invite, right? Invite people to take a look. So build rapport and invite. All you have to do is invite them to take a look. The tool does the presenting, and the three-way chat does everything else. Because as the three-way chat evolves and you're getting to know each other, it's like, wow, man, you are really one of us. I can hear that this is really landing with you. What other questions do you have? Let me take a temperature reading here. You're hearing a lot of stuff coming at you. What are your thoughts right now? What are you feeling inside? On a scale of 1 to 10, right? Any of those temperature reading questions you ask, and then you say, man, sounds like you're ready. You want to hear how most people get started? And all of that happens by the person doing the three-way chat. Is it so cool? Tell me, do you love three-way chats? Right? In Messenger. So you can have so many of them going at one time. And it's not pressure. Somebody pops in at the end of the day. The next person pops in an hour later. Oh, yeah, as far as our just barely getting back to this. Man, this is great stuff. So, awesome. Now, a quick note to leaders. I remember when I first got asked to do three-way chats, I was scared to death. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna ruin their person. I'm gonna screw it up for sure. Like, this is scary, I wanna be my best, and I don't know what to say. How do I be compelling? So, I need water too. Let's go get some water really fast. So, for leaders, take a picture of this slide while I grab water. Okay, so you wanna have a couple of points. Write these out on a bulleted list, right? And give these to your people so they can learn them too. A couple of points about your company. Let me just tell you where we are as a company. Oh my gosh, tell me what I love about this company. So tell stories, but also have a little bit of data. Here's our growth trajectory over the past few months. It's insane what's happening. Your timing's so perfect, right? Something about the company, the products, oh my gosh, the products, blah, blah, blah. Have a few bullet points that you use about your products, how they're extraordinary, how they change lives. Have a story or two, right? The mission, the vision of the company, the timing, the compensation. Here's what's unique that we're doing compensation-wise. Here's why you can win here. Get those bullets and have them in front of you until you can do them from like it's at the back of your hand. Okay. So guys, there are a lot of reasons that people get into network marketing. And one of the big ones is freedom, isn't it? And another one is like, we just want our lives. We want our lives to count for something. We want to know that when we're taking our last breaths, the world is a better place because we're here, right? We really want to leave a legacy. I love this word, leave a legacy. And I'll tell you what, 31 years ago, that's me. And probably the only thing that hasn't changed is the hair. Still doing the big hair. My kids were 5, 4, and 2, and I was at a crossroads in my life, trying to decide what I was going to do, and I didn't want to go back to teaching school. But torn and wondering what's next for me, feeling like there was something more, but not knowing exactly what that was. And as destiny would have it, this happened across my path. Guys, I've been with one company for 31 years. 3 times as long as I've ever been married. Just saying. It just shows that I can commit if I find a good thing. Incidentally, I'm getting married this summer. Can you believe it? I know. I've had a hard time even saying it. But anyway, so I'm not even remotely that young girl that made a decision all those years ago to do this business. Not even remotely. And I really like who I've become because of this business. You can choose to get super jaded if you want to, because people are people, and they're going to reveal that to you over and over again. But you can also choose not to get jaded. And you can choose the grindstone, like Eric said, lean into it and become a kinder, softer, and equally powerful version of yourself that is inclusive and ultimately forgiving and allowing of all types and just loving the crap out of everybody right where they are. So, legacy. My little kids were 5, 4, 2. We're talking about mommy guilt yesterday. You guys, how many of you have plagued yourself with that, right? You feel so guilty that maybe you're gonna ruin your children, right? It's just like, am I gone too much? I want to reiterate what so many of the beautiful women on this stage have said. They are watching you, and they are taking note of somebody who keeps pulling themselves up by the bootstraps, keeps going when they're tired, stays when almost everyone else would quit. The smart ones left, you stayed and kept going, right? But your kids are watching you. I know a successful day, back in the day, a successful day could simply be no one died, and I think they got some food, right? Like, whew, successful day. So, don't let yourself get beat up, because guess what? The time will pass, and guess what? I didn't ruin them. In fact, I really like how they all turned out. And many of you know that one of the happiest days of my life was a few years ago when my youngest daughter, after graduating from college, came to the launch of our new we transformed our business like 5 years ago, which got me so lit up. She was sitting by me, she grabbed my hand and said, "Mom, what's been beside me my whole life is actually my destiny." One of the happiest days of my life. I love building this business with my daughter. But guess what else these people started? There's my man. Here's my man. Do you know what kind of man it takes to be with a powerful woman, right? It's so special. But look what started happening. Talk about legacy. I'm just giving birth to mine. Not me personally, but right? Some people recruit nations. My kids are just giving birth to nations. But the reason I'm sharing this is because I do know this. Hundreds of thousands of people's lives are better around the world because I said yes 30 years ago, and because I kept going even when it was tough, and I stayed when most people quit. I know hundreds of thousands of people's lives are better because of that. But guess what? So are these people's little lives. And after all of these baby boys, look what happened. We got a baby girl. And so I watched my kids and the way that they are raising these grandbabies. You guys, how many people are grandparents? Is it crazy? Is it crazy? When the first grandbaby was born, I'm like, I'll never be able to love another thing this much. The second one was born, it's like he didn't even blink his eyes, and I'm like, I would give my life for you. Right? It's crazy. It's crazy that there can be that much love, right? But I watch my children. Here's what I know. I know that me making that decision to be a home-based entrepreneur all of those years ago and sticking with it all of these years, I know that because my children saw me going after my dreams, they learned that theirs matter too. And they're teaching their babies that their dreams matter. It's different thinking in our profession, and they have passed it along. So a defining moment, and then I'm out. Early in my business, when I didn't have money and I had no business experience, but we were doing belly to belly, and I was running all over the place doing meetings. Sometimes I would do 2 or 3 in a night, right? Total massive action. And there was, I sat down with my kids when I first started my business, like, you know, like we're told to tell your significant others what you're doing, enlist them in your dreams, and let them know that it's gonna be tough for a while, but I'm going after it. I believe in what I'm doing, be with me. So I sat my kids down, who were 5, 4, and 2, and I said that, and they're like, yeah, and they went out to play. Well, several months later, when I was feeling like it was never gonna happen, and it wasn't spinning yet, but I was working so hard and gone so much, thinking I could be making more money working at McDonald's than I'm making right now. It was that challenging of the number of hours I was giving. It was heading out to go to another meeting, and my little 3-year-old at the time, Todd, came running out in his soccer pajamas, bare feet, crying, Mommy, Mommy, don't go. Mommy, don't go. Like those words, right? And I stopped the car, I went over and picked him up, held him in my arms. What he could not see is that I was crying too. I was so spent. And the thought crossed my mind, I could blow these meetings off, no one would even know. No one's gonna join anyway, right? It's like, I was promised 100 people, there'll be 3. I could blow it off and no harm done. But from somewhere inside of me, and I don't even know where, but it was a defining moment, I said, sweetheart, with tears in my eyes, go inside, be a strong boy, and I promise you, someday I will take you kids everywhere I go. Within a very short time, I started taking these kids everywhere I go. I was able to travel all around the world with these kids, taking them to places that I wouldn't have been able to find on a map before my business. Istanbul, right? Russia, I had a huge business throughout Eurasia. Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, right? Like who even knows, right? Uzbekistan, all of these places. China for my 50th birthday. Anyway, we've traveled the world, and I'll tell you, I've told that story hundreds of times in an effort to get moms to see the big picture, to see what's happening generationally, to see the gift you're giving if you'll just back burner things. Be present when you're present, but just do your business intensely for a season. Watch what you glean, not just in money, not just in freedom, but in who your children become. So I've told this story hundreds of times over 30 years, but I shared it at my most recent convention, and something different got to happen this time. See that little boy on the end? Can you bring the picture up? That little boy on the end? He was there with me because he decided to finally take a look at the business. And guess what? After I told the story with him sitting there, he said, can I come up? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. A little scared. So he comes comes on the stage and he shares how hard it really was. Guys, I want to tell you, there wasn't a dry eye. He shared how tough it really was until they became teenagers, and then they were stoked when I'd leave. They loved it. Like, yeah, Mom's gone, party in our house. He shares this story, tears streaming down his face. I'm a sobbing mess. Because I know I sacrificed things. I missed stuff. I missed the first home run. I could cry today, but guess what? I would do it again. I would do it again exactly like this. And my son said she missed some of our soccer goals so that she could help us achieve our life goals. I received that. I love you guys. Thank you so much for those sweet words. Here's this. Back to you and why you're here. You're here for a reason. There is divinity inside of you. You have gifts. And there are people on their knees right now praying for what you have. Do not be selfish with your gifts. If to this point you have not been letting yourself shine brightly enough, hit the frickin' reset button and do it now. I love you.